It won't lie to you. It's pure that way. You might see a lot more than you wanted. But if you have heart, you have hope. And you have heart in you.
The world, Chuck. Everything you've ever loved. Everything you see. Every year that you live, that world will get bigger and brighter. And more detailed and complex.
Aloha. This is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman. Coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, remember, this is Trinidad the Islandman, your Islandman. And tonight, opening weekend of the new movie starring Tom Hiddleston, yes, Loki himself. I went in and I saw Life of Chuck. And well, without further ado, remember our rating scale: Shaka thumbs up, it's good to see, I recommend it. Shaka thumbs down, it's junk, I don't recommend it. And for Life of Chuck, it is overall a Shaka thumbs up. Now let me just say that this movie is definitely not for everybody. I enjoyed this movie, but it was not an action-packed kind of adventure, and it certainly was not the fun, happy-go-lucky movie that I was expecting, looking at some of the trailers, actually just one of the trailers, where you see Tom Hiddleston dancing in the street. I've seen some YouTube videos where he is dancing, and let me just say that I am up for a Sam Rockwell, Tom Hiddleston movie where they have a dance-off. Let me just say that right here, right now. I think that would do a great show at the box office. But what can I say about Life of Chuck? Apparently it is based on a Stephen King short story. It is told in 3 acts, and it is told in reverse. At first, some spoilers, I guess. Well, first of all, Tom Hiddleston, some people didn't like this movie, I've heard. Not full reviews, but some people didn't like it because Tom Hiddleston isn't in much of the movie. He's in about 30 minutes of the movie. The biggest scene where he's in is in Act 2, where he does dance in the street. You see some pictures of him in Act 3. And like I said, it is told in reverse. And for the first act, his younger childhood self is played by another actor, both one in his adolescence and 2 in his teenage years. And we don't see Tom Hiddleston until Act 2, and then finally Act 3. I guess he is in a little bit of Act 1 as an adult. But I won't go into spoilers for that. Basically, this movie starts off in Act 3 and basically talks about the end of the world, the end of the universe, basically, oddly enough. Very kind of apropos, I guess, for a Stephen King's kind of show or story. Right off, it had me thinking of that M. Night Shyamalan, where it had Dave Bautista and basically the end of the world kind of a thing. Vibe is what I was feeling from that movie, Act 3. But as you get into it more, then it goes into Act 2, basically, where we start to see what this is, and you start to figure out, it's like, okay, did the world really end, or is this somebody's imagination, or is this just the dying of a single man, Tom Hiddleston, as we find out that he has some terminal a brain tumor that is killing him. And basically we see in Act 3 at his death just so happens to coincide with the end of the universe and the end of the world and all life on Earth. Is this, a tale of where, the entire reality is just in one person's mind, and with it, when he dies, the entire reality of the world dies, the universe dies? I think this is basically kind of sort of what Stephen King might have been getting at in his short story. I don't know. I never read the short story. Honestly, I haven't read very many Stephen King books. But I've seen many of his movies. But I think this is a fair adaptation. I think even Stephen King came out and said he kind of, approved of this movie overall. And then in Act 1, we see, the adolescence, the tragic childhood of Tom Hiddleston, and how he grows up and becomes the man that he soon will be. And, and it is revealed to him as a child in his teenage years that he would die. He kind of has this premonition that he will die, later on in his life. Well, everybody knows that they're going to die eventually, not to quote some Republican senator. but it looks like some illness is his premonition. It doesn't get into that it's going to be a brain tumor or exactly when it is, but he knows that he's not going to live till like old age of like 90 or 80 or 70, essentially. But at that moment, he makes a decision to just live the best life that he can and live it as well as possible. And Walt Whitman and his poem is quoted in this, and one line in particular, that I am large, I contain multitudes. And basically the universe, all of reality is within my mind, or is within one's mind, because that's how they perceive reality and shape reality, and it's their memories plus the memories that they've known from other people who has told those memories, all of those lives encompassed, and whatever you can create or imagine is a universe within your mind, inside your brain. And so in that tale, that is both a happy kind of story that he takes as a young man, and we see that when he dies, the entire universe, the world dies, thus symbolizing and representing the end of his life, the end of the universe, his universe, but also the universe of everything else in the world. So not a particularly happy tale in the end, or at the beginning in this case, since it's told in reverse. However, still kind of a true-to-life tale, of a man who lived his life on his own terms, knowing that it was going to end kind of badly for him, but still choosing to put his best foot forward, and know that no matter what happens, he is a universe in himself, essentially. And so that I applaud that kind of positive message of the world and enjoyed this movie overall, whereas some probably would not. I'd say this is probably going to do better on streaming when you can take the time and rewatch it. It only made $2 million at the box office for the entire opening weekend here in the United States, and I think worldwide so far, and it doesn't look like it's going to go much further. It might be an effort for this movie to make $10 million, and although it didn't seem to cost them very much, the sets aren't all that. There's not like big action spectacles, but you know, there are a number of famous actors in this movie: Karen Gillan, Chadwick Ejiofor, Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill, just to name a few. You know, really a stellar cast, and everyone plays their role very well, especially Tom Hiddleston for, you know, the little bit that he is in this movie, but his stardom was enough to bring me in to see this movie, not knowing what it was about, and even in the sadness of finding out what this movie was about, the end of the world, the end of the universe. There's some Carl Sagan quotes mixed in there as well, very scientifically told by Carl Sagan. And yes, this does turn out to be a very positive movie in the end overall, I feel. And, you know, at some point you should probably watch it, but I can understand if you don't go rush out to the movie theater to see it. I give it a Shaka thumbs up, if not a strong Shaka thumbs up. But, you know, again, and that totally relies on Tom Hiddleston selling this movie. All right. Mahalo and aloha.